Hey, what's up, everybody? If you don't know me, my name is Brant, and I am the student pastor at the Buford campus. And I think I can speak for all the student pastors when I say we miss you so much. Like, it's crazy. I just want to be with you all because I love you and we miss you. And I actually heard this from students. This was really sad, but I've heard this a lot, that y'all even miss being at school because you miss seeing each other so much. I think that's just so telling of where we're at. Never thought I would have heard that statement in a million years, but we just miss seeing each other so much. Right now, you're in a season where you still have school, but you're not actually going to school, which means you still have homework. And worst of all, you still have tests. And the worst feeling in the world for me is showing up to a test feeling unprepared because you're anxious, feel like everything you're doing is wrong. And the truth is, tests reveal the truth. See, tests are designed to show us the truth about really how we've prepared, where we're at, and if we're testing something else, like the truth about that thing. That's what tests are supposed to do. And when I was in 7th grade, this is a true story, I was assigned a book to do like an essay test in class on. Made to write an essay in class on the book that we read. It was like a book report. And the book that I got was The Great Gatsby. A little party! This was before the movie had come out. I didn't know what SparkNotes were, so I actually had to read this book and know it and write my essay on it. And I want you to guess how many pages of The Great Gatsby I read before doing that essay. 0. I had not even opened the book. I looked at the front cover, was like, this will be enough. And I wrote a 2-page paper on a man named Louis Gatsby, who's a struggling saxophone musician in the 1920s. Spoiler alert, not even close. And what made it worse is, you know who had read The Great Gatsby? My English teacher. And so he saw right through it. And at the end of the day, I failed. And it was really, really bad. It wasn't good. Hurt my English grade. A little party! And honestly, the test just kind of exposed me. It hurt my feelings. Because what happens is the test always reveals the truth. Tests reveal the truth about us. That test revealed that I had not read it and I was not prepared. And tests reveal the truth about us. And students, did you know that God actually tests our faith sometimes? And he does it to reveal the truth about us to ourselves, right? So we can actually know ourselves and know how we need to grow. And did you know that God actually tests our faith sometimes? Like, he lets us go through difficult seasons of life to reveal to us how we need to grow. See, when you get tested in school, it really feels kind of negative, right? There's a lot of pressure, you get a grade, and it almost feels like it assigns value to like how good you are of a student. And that's not how God tests for us or how he intends them to be. Like, he doesn't give us a grade or say, well, you're a good Christian or a bad Christian. See, God, when he tests us, it's to show us really where we're at and where we need to grow. And we find that in the book of James, chapter 1, which is fun. That's where we're going to be as a church, the book of James, for the next few weeks. And James was actually, fun fact, the brother of Jesus. Now, imagine what it would take for your siblings to convince you that they're God, right? It'd be great. You would never do that. But James believed in Jesus, which shows that he was the real deal. And this is what he wrote to his church in Jerusalem and beyond. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. God tests our faith to reveal where we need to grow. It's an opportunity for us to grow. And honestly, students, I think this season of life is kind of like a spiritual test for a lot of us. I think I call it almost like a spiritual pop quiz, because none of us saw coronavirus coming. None of us saw social isolation and church shutting down and not being able to see our friends coming. And I think it was a little bit of a test to see where we're at as people. And so I thought I would show you a little bit of maybe some of the questions that are on my pop quiz for my life right now, and maybe some of them are the same for you. How good am I at finding funny Zoom backgrounds? Am I actually any good at TikTok dances?
Level up, level up, level up.
Who are my real friends sending me memes to keep me entertained? Are there any friends or relationships that I'm taking for granted? Does my faith depend on a church event like M12 or on Jesus' work in my life? That is the biggest question I think that God wants us to answer together during this time. Is my faith really dependent on Jesus and what he did, centered on Jesus, what he did for my life? Or am I really depending on this weekly event where I get to hang out with my friends for my relationship? Is it more about church or more about Jesus? See, I think right now, this is something I had to reflect on. If I'm not wanting to spend time alone with God during this time, then maybe I care more about church than I do about Jesus. If I haven't spent some time to actually look at myself and grow with God and ask what he wants for my life, then maybe I care more about church than I do about Jesus. And maybe that's not true for you. Maybe this has been a great time, but I think either way, for all of us, this time has revealed the truth about our faith, whether good or bad. And so real quick, I think the big question that I'd love for you to ask yourself and bring into group is, what has this testing time revealed about your faith? What has this testing time revealed about your faith? And so here's what I want you to write now. Put down the phone, write out that question, maybe go back, write out that question, think about it, and bring that to group when we meet and talk about it in just a bit.